What is going on, guys? Hope all is well. If you guys can hear me and see my screen, just feel free to drop a one in the chat if you could. That would be awesome. Everything looks good on my end as far as the stream. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Welcome to today's session, Midnight Bags. Uh, so far, pretty decent week in the markets. We had some volatility today, earlier around 6 p.m. PST, so we'll take a look at what happened there. But as always, hope you guys are doing well. Just a reminder, the stream is not financial advice. We just come on here, mark up, share ideas. If you guys see a potential idea that I don't see, feel free to share it. If there's something you want me to cover, you're always more than welcome to ask in the chat, and I'll do my best to give you a answer. But let's go ahead and get started. As always, we're going to look at what we have for the week in terms of economic calendar for tomorrow. Seems to be a pretty chill day in terms of any red folder news. Let's go with the rest of the week. Apart from maybe Friday, some volatility in the morning, there's no heavy red candles present. Unemployment claims on Thursday, normal ones. Friday, some PPI. See what we got for next week. Nothing. Next week Friday will be fun, but for the rest of this week, looks seems to be pretty chill. But let's go ahead and get into it. As far as gold, I did attempt some buys inside of here. Scalped it really quickly, and the reason I took it was played off of my 15-minute trap candle, so I was able to get in and out from this candle to like right about here. So it knocked in about like 40 to 50 pips roughly. Trailed my stop as well just because I didn't like how price action started getting choppy. So took a little bit profit there. As far as the day is going, gold was moving, especially during when Trump was speaking around 6 p.m. PST. A little bit before that, had a nice little drop and then dropped again. Let's see, where are we at? Right here, sorry. Right inside here, quick little drop and then pop back up. Personally, I definitely see gold going much higher to fill the rest of this imbalance. I'm just trying to see where we get that pullback. I was hoping for this yesterday, well on Monday, but did not pull back. I'm still gonna keep an eye. If we get them back this low, will be awesome. As far as where we're at currently, if you guys have any different ideas, feel free to drop it in as well. This was a nice little 30-minute candle. Would like to see gold come back around 51.50. Don't know if we're gonna get that much deep of a pullback because we could just reject where we're at right now and go higher. So being mindful of that, it's kind of stuck in a range. So personally would want it to pull back a little bit so we can get in. But if it just respects this key level, which so far it is, we could see some buys from its current area. So being patient on this. Reason being is also silver. I can see dropping a little bit before we continue further up. I definitely see silver coming back up to 97. 100 is even definitely a possibility. So where it's at right now, I can see some potential shorts. Um, Maybe for London, we get that pullback. Let's see if we have any zones for potential buys. We do have this 4-hour zone on silver right here for the buys. This looks decent. We fill the gap and then pop right back up. Would like to see if we can come back down into this area, hold, and then continue higher up. 4-hour zone, like I said, and then filling up, going up back to 100. There's a lot of turmoil in the world going on currently, so whenever there is chaos, people tend to move their assets into gold. Therefore, gold, silver, all the commodities tend to go up in general. So this is why my bias is still looking for buys for sure on this. This one was painful for me. As you guys see, did not want our candle inside of here. I believe this was, yeah, a 15-minute candle, unfortunately. Right idea, but barely missed. So this one's getting discarded. If you're on from last week, we've been talking about buys right inside the zone. Actually, 2 weeks ago, and then finally came back into our zone to continue further up. So this was still smacking. Indices had a pretty crazy run up today. I'm going to reset the chart in a second, but if you've been on with us the past 2 weeks, we spoke about this main zone right here and this zone right here, which played off on Friday. This was your 15-minute candle. super clean reaction. I was able to scalp a little bit of this. This push up was quick, so I was able to get in and out of this. But let's reset our chart here. Our current high. I'm in favor of buys going into tomorrow. I can definitely see a short-term London sell-off the way price action is moving. I want to see this quick get taken out here. And then had a candle inside here earlier. Let's see. Yeah, I want to see us go look at shorts going into London around 2500, coming down to 2500 to rebalance some of this price action. If we break past that, like that 2500 level, sorry, 24,900. If we break past that, then I can definitely see us coming down into 24,760 before we continue further up because I would like to see this price action get rebalanced. We had another trap candle play inside of here, this 5 minute candle. Respected it nicely. It was hard to, I personally could not get into this one. It's just exploded up so much, but I was able to catch some of the pullbacks and then scalp it up. Unfortunately, sometimes those opening candles can come up pretty aggressively, and this is like going from candle to candle. This is like 80 points in one candle, so definitely I could not get into that. Unfortunately, it wasn't quick enough. Yeah, I would like a pullback for Nasdaq before we continue buying up. And the next potential area for any sort of shorts I would look at would be inside of here. If that gets violated, then hold the buys up until 25,800. It's in an interesting spot because we've got liquidity for sure resting up here. So I want to see what London Open gives. Like I said, I would like a pullback before we go further up, but I can also see us just taking out these relative highs and then filling in the imbalance. So let Nasdaq sit for now, and then see if we can get something like this going into tomorrow. We've been pretty solid on looking for the buys lately up for Nasdaq, so I'm continue sticking with the buys, see if all of this area can hold. US 30, crazy sell off on Monday. Let's just reset this. If you guys have a different bias, feel free to drop it in the chat. Um, uh, what's up, Dede? I'm looking at the chat right now. What's up, D? Give me 1 second. Cool. Yeah, I'm in this. You where US 30's at? I'm in the same boat as Nasdaq. I can definitely see us breaking up higher. There's obvious reason for market come to fill the imbalance. I would just like to see if we can get a pullback to get inside the market. Um, uh, this was a nice little 5 minute trap candle pullback to get in. Let me see if we have anything on a smaller time frame here. Yeah, if we get some shorts, I can definitely see US 30 coming to take out these equal lows. Just where it's at right now, let it show its hand. Don't force anything because it doesn't have to take out this liquidity. It could just pop straight up. But I'm in the favor of shorts going into tomorrow, and then looking for buys for the rest of the New York session to refill this imbalance. It can also just straight shoot up. So let it show its hand first on this. Don't force anything. SPX anticipating the same thing. Yes, crazy drop. Would be curious to see what SPX does inside of this candle here. But same bias. Honestly, with all indices, I would like to see a small short to see if we can catch the buys up. to 69.50 on SPX. I just needed to show me its hand first because we've just been consolidating. This little drop was during the this Trump speech, so that's why I want to see this would get taken out here. See where dollar's at for us. Dollars is inside a 4-hour trap candle, so we could possibly see gold um, drop a little bit if dollar decides to respect this candle, because dollar down, other assets against it go up, and vice versa. Uh, but all in all, I would like to see dollar continue down a bit more. I'm still in favor of dollar down bias. Looking at oil over here. Dang, this is heartbreaking. You guys can see the alert. This was barely missed. Gonna discard this for now. Right idea, just did not want to come back for us that. Next potential area, we'll like to see oil pull back into this daily area to continue further up into 74, and then if that breaks above 8 to 80. But this is the next potential target to respect this daily zone right here for me personally. Yeah, whoever's on, guys, feel free to comment. I know I got my regulars on for sure, but yeah, I like this area for oil buys. Continuing on, peso, same bias as last week. I still think we can potentially stick around this area. It's just moving sideways for days at this point. So no, it hasn't shown its hand yet, but I do like what this larger area is for buys. UJ, I know a lot of people have been in buys catching this wave. I can see a potential respect where it's at currently inside of this zone, just to continue further up. I think Data, I saw you guys were in a GJ trade, so wonder if you guys have the same bias. We are forming some liquidity here, so would like to see us break out. We've also got this trend line liquidity forming here. So if you guys been on my sessions past couple of months, anytime we see a squeeze like this, we just let price show its hand first. Let it break out in a direction and we can play the opposite. Um, there's no reason to try to force anything when price is just squeezing. It's gonna keep squeezing and it's just gonna break out. So just be patient with this. USD Swiss. And if there's something specific you guys want me to cover, feel free to let me know. Uh, we're gonna just go through this bias here. Would like to finally see. Okay, we cleared out the liquidity. Cool. Potentially one more drop down, and then would like to, where it's at roughly, would like to see this area hold for us to continue further up into 0.78800. We've got clear liquidity areas, one, two, and then motive to go higher. You have the imbalance here. So some obvious targets now. We just need structure to the shift up. So if we can get, if price can do something like this, then we're looking good. So let it shift a little bit up first, get in the pullback, and continue higher. That's the bias for USD Swiss, USD CAD. Still like this zone. I'm cautious on trying to sell inside of here only because if we continue the momentum back up, I see these equal highs being taken out. So would like to see us pull back to catch some buys riding up into 1.37, 600, all the way up to 700, yeah. So being patient on USD CAD, definitely want to see a pullback before we continue further up. I don't know if we're gonna get that deep though, that deep of a pullback, but that's where I'm at where it comes to USD CAD. I'm just checking gold on my other tab real quick. Yeah, just this thing's ranging. Good thing I just took quick profits earlier. GJ. Oh yeah, this is the one that Giovanni was talking about. I think he got into this or someone. I hope someone did from last week. It didn't fully tap my zone. I am gonna delete this zone now. But I know you guys been in buys as well. So same bias. It just didn't get to my point of interest. But yeah, I would continue holding. If you're holding the buys, at least partial a little bit. If you got, I know you guys got it around here. Similar bias as UJ. I can see us a little bit of pullback and then continue further up. Although, if it just gets up in here, I would reevaluate because, I mean, just because I would, what I would recommend is check where the rest of the yen pairs are at. If they blow past this zone and go further up to fill this imbalance, then GJ might disrespect this area. But if you can get pullbacks and then take the buys back up, that would make a lot more sense. Because overall, this is looking good where it's at right now. It's just in a weird area right now where it could just straight break out because we did form equal highs. It's like a key resistance level. Um, so hopefully price wants to give us that reentry to continue further up. And then this is a definitely an area to take some money off the board for sure. GU, I don't think I've liked this pair since like last week. I don't have anything obvious on GU for me personally. Still want to see it come take out this liquidity, but like I don't have an obvious area that stands out. It's like the second, third week in a row I don't like GU at all. I respected this 2 hour trap candle here. Yeah, personally, I think I'm gonna stay out of GU. This doesn't stand out to me. Kind of just been ranging really since my Sunday open. GP odd. Man, this thing's on rampage. More downside for sure. If there's gonna be a potential attempt, I would do it inside of this daily candle right here to attempt for buys. See if there's any potential pullbacks. If price can respect this 2 hour candle before we break down, would like to see something like this and then continue further down. We've definitely set up equal lows right here to take out, so it makes sense. Now we just got to get the pullback to continue with the trend. Make it pretty simple. 2 hour zone, technically stop up here. Let's see if we can respect this candle and then continue the dump down. GP CAD, more downside. Still want to see all this get taken out. Similar bias. I would like to see if we can respect this zone right here and then continue further down. We've got liquidity built up right here on the second yellow line. We got equal lows. So we'd like to see if we can respect this and then continue further out. Because everything else at this point is pretty efficient. Would want to see one more pullback and then continue shorting down. GP Swiss, not at the zone yet, still more downside. I just don't want to attempt anything with this because we're just going sideways here. So I would just let this be as is and let it drop into the zone. But this is the area looking at for GBP Swiss buys. And it also really depends where the rest of the GB pairs are at as well. So that's something to keep in mind. GBP NZD. Yeah, everything's just still showing downside for all the GBP pairs. Got liquidity built up here. Let's see if we have a chance for a pullback. This looks good here. I kind of want to stay out of this. Honestly, not like a super obvious area for me. Still downside, just not as clear as the other pairs. So I'm okay with that. Euro odd. Also, guys, I have my heater on in the background. If it gets too loud, just let me know. I can turn it off. Let's see. Euro odd is approaching a weekly point of interest. So potential buys inside of this zone. Let me just double check something. Only thing, so this is just something to keep an eye on. Relative lows here. I do want to attempt some buys, but for me personally, I'm not confirming this is an idea. This is something I'm just gonna keep an eye on. I don't like the fact that we have equal lows here next to the trap candle. Whenever I take those setups, I usually end up getting clapped. Um, uh, so I'm okay with missing out on this one if it doesn't play out. We have other quality setups and better biases, but this is a potential area to keep an eye on. Let's see how the rest of the Euro pairs are looking. Euro CAD looks absolutely disgusting. Imagine trading this and being stuck in this sideways movement. Yeah, I see this. I'm not even bothering looking to touch this at all. There's no point. It's just been consolidating since 29th, basically. It's not obvious. We don't worry about it. This is still on the downside. We don't need to even worry about this. It hasn't shown its hand for upside. Stay out of Euro Swiss. Euro GBP finally cleared out the liquidity. I can see some downside on this from where it's at. Let's see how volume's looking. South side volume is starting to come in. Yeah, I would like to see if we can get some shorts down into 0.86400 where it's at personally. Yeah, so like coming down into here. Just need to continue breaking further down. So like respecting where it's at currently would be awesome. Euro yen. Um, all the yens, same bias. Good night. Appreciate you hopping on for a quick sec. Um, uh, All the yens, I had the same bias. If we can get a drop back and then continue further up, that would be even better. We were on the right bias since last week in terms of actually not just last week, 2 weeks ago. Like I told you guys, this was a key level. Notice how price kept respecting, never closed below. Keep it simple, break and retest. We spoke about this multiple times. Now it's running. So key levels work. If we get a pullback, awesome. Then we'll continue further up. Let me make sure I set alert here as well. What I like is all the yens, UJ, EJ, GJ, they all look similar, which is nice for us. Euro NZD definitely downside. It didn't pull back into this candle. Personally, where Euro NZD is at, I kind of want to stay out of this. Let it decide its hand. Um, Taking buys inside of this candle right here just seems a little bit risky for me. So personally, I'm not going to force my hand there on that. So staying out of your NZD, no trade idea for that. This was from what's the date? Yeah, this was last week. This was painful. I don't know if anyone had a chance to get into Euro USD. We had our zone. Just it did not want to pull back enough into the trap candle, unfortunately. So right bias, just what barely missed this by like 2, 3 pips, which is okay. Hope someone was able to catch that. Just food for thought. If you did, like, if you see the scenario again and you know the bias is downside, uh, a way you could have played this was okay, we get this shift down, clear imbalance. You could have played anywhere inside of this imbalance. Say you want to go like 50% of it, because I know some people do that. Even if you entered here and you wanted to go stop above the high, you still you get a 1 to 2 at the equal lows, 1 to 2.6, and then you get your 1 to 3 at filling the imbalance, which it did both, and then it went even lower. So that's how you could have played it. If structure shifts and you still want to attend, this was only a 13 pip stop. Even if you went at this high, like 17 pips, still a solid move. And looking at this in hindsight, you could see, like if you saw the manipulation up was to purposely just take out everyone trying to sell inside of here. We rebalance and then continue down. So this 5 o'clock move was just a liquidity sweep in case anyone wants to go back and study that and see how they could have replayed it. Currently where Euro USD is at, let's see. I'd keep an eye on what it does inside of this 2 hour zone. I'm gonna keep an eye personally, see what Euro does and GU does in that area. If the GU blows past this area, then I would say Euro's potentially not valid. But this is a potential area I'm keeping an eye on for Euro. We do have more liquidity built up right here. Got some equal low, so we'll love to see if we can get something like this and then continue further down. If we take that out, then I can definitely see a retest to come and rebalance more price action down here. So that's my bias. More downside on Euro. Let's look at odd CAD. It is approaching a potential key weekly area. I'm not going to force a sell on this. Personally, where it's at right now, again, that's coming up to a key level. I just stay out of it. If we're going to sell, we just let structure shift first. This thing's just only going up, so there's no indication to attempt any shorts. And I'm not going to attempt buys inside of this because we've also just we're starting to generate some liquidity over here. So personally, I'm okay with sitting on my hands for this one. Got some equal lows. If you do find the shorts after structure shifts and gives you clear indication, you could definitely take it into like this imbalance right here. This would make sense. And if you look left, it's also key level too. So seeing price come back, retest this area, and then continue further up. Odd Swiss. This is in the same boat. This thing just keeps pushing up. I had nothing to even attempt inside of this. Like this does not look appealing. So we stay out. We've got a nice downside target, but there's no indication to sell yet. So sit on your hands for now. Odd yen. Let's see. So this one doesn't look as clean as the rest of the yen. So this is the only one that's odd, like the oddball out. And personally, like I don't have a clear area for a pullback, so I would just stay out of this. The you have other yen pairs that look much better than AUD JPY, AUD NZD. Take a quick look here. Honestly, today I'm like flying through these pairs. So if there's something you guys like want me to go over, whether it's a technical thing or psychology, um, feel free to ask. I'm going on, this will be my fourth year going on, so whatever, if you're fairly new, whatever mistakes you haven't done yet, I've probably already done. So my goal is to just help you so that you don't have to go through with the same lessons the hard way, the way I have to learn. I think on AUD and ZD, I'm okay with staying out of this pair. This is a nice thing to study here. Another example of key level break and retest. Give it to you twice. First move gave you 117 pips. The second move, almost, yeah, 200. Um, by key level, just draw a line where price respected multiple times, finally broke above, retested, retested, down. And what's cool is you guys can even study volume on this. As we're coming down, we're not increasing in volume significantly. And then we get a nice engulfing candle, engulfing volume. We play the pullback of that, and this thing is running. I'm curious, did this give a 50% pullback? It did. Because I know some people like to get into the 50%, even if you just took it right at it. Oh, dang. 27 pip risk. We look left, we're with the trend, so the obvious area was to fill more imbalance, which it is, and that could have been your target. And if you're just going for 1 to 3, yeah, it definitely hits it, but you could have definitely got more out of that. Just something to review. AUD/USD is getting closer to my zone. Let me just double check if it still makes sense. I would just keep an eye on this. Personally, by itself, it looks okay. I want to see what the dollar does as we get closer, especially going into tomorrow. So just keep an eye on this area. This is something you are going to attempt. I would reevaluate, especially as we get into New York and an Asian session tomorrow. Let's see. Yeah, just be cautious with this one. I would say there is this area, but I'm not 100% on this idea. Beforehand I was, but this might have just rebalanced. What do you think of gold 5230 area? I can take a look. I got you. 5230 on futures or CFD? Uh, because on futures it did tap that area. Oh, like barely earlier, and then melted. To be honest, one second, gotta sneeze. I think if we start coming back up to that zone, we might just clear this high. For me, it just becomes a little less probable. I could still be wrong and it could play out. It's just given the momentum and how things have been going, I think this might just break out above and finally fill the rest of this imbalance to the left here. Excuse me, guys. CFD, yeah. Are you looking at this little candle inside of here? That's tempting. It would be nice. I would have a tighter risk on it if you are going to attempt. Sorry if I go silent for a few seconds at times, guys. I just sneeze like 3 times in a row. Yeah, it's by itself, yeah, I get what you're looking at. It's just with how things have been going and gold's just on a rampage, especially with what's going on in the world. Yeah, I mean, by itself, yeah, I love this candle to attempt inside of. Um, just be cautious. See where silver's at too, because silver is awfully close to breaking its high over here and then just being on a rampage back up. I'm gonna keep an eye on the area too, since you brought it up. Um, just to see if we do get anything like even a scalp inside of this. I want to see if this area holds for London buys. We'll see what where it's at right now. Even though I want to get into buys, I'd rather wait 20 more minutes just to be safe. We did just form basically relative lows. We might see a drop here. If we drop, we're more than likely like the big wicks get taken out. We've spoken about this. This will get ran through. This will get ran through, and that might give us our if it wants to pull back this far enough. I doubt it at this point, given that we're much further up in the structure. This was the play. This was annoying not to be able to get into. Oh, a little case study. Largest time frame, of course. Yeah, definitely. I mean, with how volatile it is, even if you take that 15-minute zone, you could easily catch like 100 pips in a couple of few candles. Cause gold's been moving like crazy. Just a little case study. Because I was at work and I did attempt buys and then scalped it and then got hit out and then this thing ran. And I came back from work and I realized it left without me. But just studying wise, we see there's buying volume coming in. Sell volume is decreasing. Buying volume, engulfing candles, structure shifts. The pullback happens here. Look at the pullback volume, it's decreasing and we're still momentum. So even if you played anywhere inside of like this candle here, say you still had a good chance. Like I personally missed this one because I had already taken a little bit of profit and then I had to go back to work. But studying this because this is how I review to see what I can do to be better live. Yeah, this was Frustrating price action for sure. It was did not need to come and hit out multiple times here. Like your first target was definitely this high because you had the equal highs right here. And then second target, like with we're momentum, so clearing out all of this too for sure. And then this was just a blessing to go further up. But yeah, this was frustrating because if you look at this on a 1 minute, trying to manage this position here was not fun. Runs, hits out, runs. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I didn't even bother after this. It gave the pullback, and this was like what I missed to get in, and it is what it is. But it's a good thing to learn from. Just personally, I don't know if I would be okay with risking over 100 pips if I got in inside of here with my stop down here. That would not make sense. But looking at the 5 minute, that was the move right inside this candle. Yeah, gold's just showing right now. Wouldn't be surprised if we see spike down. We've basically generated liquidity on both ends right here. So like you guys see liquidity on both sides, just let it show its hand first. No reason to force anything there. Let me finish up the forex pairs real quick. Honestly, I still see downside on CAD Chef, but this is just consolidating, so I don't even want to attempt anything inside of that. CAD Yen. This already gave the move down here. I wouldn't reattempt this anymore. I already gave you that initial reaction. Um, but same bias as GJ and UJ and Euro JPY. Um, 1 second, guys. Let me close my Discord. It keeps going off. There we go. Right down into here and then going further up. And this one has the same bias, so if we can get the pullback, awesome, and then go up. If we don't get the pullback and price comes into this area and we get a potential sell zone, flip the bias. Like you know this was a clear target to rebalance price action, and if you end up getting into a sell and your confirmations hit, now where you were originally going to buy, you can target that as your TP. It's all about adapting and seeing what hand the market gives you. NZD pairs. I still think this area is valid. Let me see something here. Wouldn't be surprised if we see this get respected to continue further up. It would be nice if it gets one more retest at the off of this key level, and then continue further up. So I do like buys on NZD CAD. Um, it's not 100% sure if we're gonna get the pullback to continue further up. So just keep an eye on that. If this is something that you do trade. NZD JPY, same buys. Cool. NZD USD. Oh, also D. Speaking of gold, gold's been really giving a lot of moves like around 4:30 PST, so 6:30 Texas time. Um, Before I would always wait for London, but now I'm starting to see, sorry, not London, like the 6 p.m. open volume. But lately it's been giving some moves beforehand too, so just something for you guys to keep an eye on in terms of gold. Upside on this is just there's so many areas. So let's see if there's something a little bit more clear. No, I do like buys. I just there's this main zone right here. I don't know if we're gonna get that deep pullback. I'll sit on my hands for NZD with better quality setups. NZD Chef, not touching this. This has just been ranging. Nothing obvious, so I'm okay with not being in it. No, actually, I would like buys, but there's just so many areas I can pull back to, so I'm okay staying out of this one. In case anyone. By the way, if anyone was paying attention, this zone was given out multiple times, and this did play out. So this was solid. Even the buy bias played out right here. Now where this is at. Yeah, would so the DAX, same bias as the rest of the indices, would like a pullback going into tomorrow. Let's see if we can hold this area to go further back up. I know hands, but sometimes I very sharp yet. Yeah, it definitely lures in people and just gives you that sideways price action. Like today, missed out on easy 300-400 pips. Uh, so I mean, just an idea. If we continue seeing that repeatedly as a pattern, potentially reducing size, like if we need to have a wider stop to ensure we catch the move, especially if it's like with the trend, which it was today, obviously. Um, uh, just a food for thought, something I'll like even keep in mind, where I might be open to having a little bit wider stop, or we find a better move. So honestly, let's just go back and study this. Like what could have been the better, more obvious play with less risk on table. Let's see. So this is the area. This was the open. Cool. We're just gonna study this real quick. To be honest, if this is where we hit break even, the best way would have been just to play inside of this imbalance. If you missed it again, it would have been to play inside of this. And then seeing that this candle was putting a lot of effort to try to go lower, but it failed to. So sellers were getting kicked out basically, and buyers were stepping in. I think that's the way I would have played it in hindsight. I was watching it because I did miss this pullback to get in again. And it would have been worth playing too. Try to see where else potentially. I mean, you could have the breakout trade right off of here, but this is just all hindsight. If it broke out and then you put your stop down here to continue target this liquidity here, if you trade breakouts. But yeah, the obvious one would have been this pullback here, and then the second one here. It was cleaner on the 5 minute for sure. See where this is at. This thing's on a rampage. But yeah, we don't even need to touch this. This is at all-time highs. Stay out of that. Natural gas. Let's see. Now, we'll let it before we attempt any buys. We just need to see some daily volume come in. There's really no point in trying to get into this. Before we do end it off, um, we did get into some Snapchat calls. You can buy, like I know some of us bought shares as well. I bought two option calls for literally like expiring next year, basically in January. So like this is just like a long-term hold for me. I will look to stack this in as we start getting more volume. I might even buy some shares either this week or next week. But I already do have two option contracts, and I'm looking to add more potentially. So I got that set in stone. Um, I know. Weeble was something we are looking at. I haven't bought into this yet. This is something I'm also looking at to play as well. Just need a little bit extra confirmation. Let's see, let's see. PayPal is another idea we're all looking at as well. It just gave a nice pop too, between yesterday and today. So another potential. I haven't attempted this yet. I mainly got into Snapchat, but this is something that is worth keeping an eye on because the upside on this is pretty solid. If we run from where we're at right now, you're looking at least a easy 200% from a technical point of view, feeling the imbalance. That's the main thing on the stock side, to be honest. Just keep an eye on Snapchat personally and look to get into Weeble. Crypto wise, and just a reminder, I mark off purely based off of technicals. Um, Bitcoin isn't yet showing signs of going up. This candle tried. Personally, I still think we come clear 60. I'm still holding this bias from a technical point of view. Would love to see if we can come back into 45 from a technical point of view. That makes sense. And if we drop from where we're at right now, that would be a 32% drop. I'm just curious. This last drop here, 30%. Oh, from the top, we've already dropped 50%. In the last run, how much was this from here to down here? 70% drop from the top here. So if we get from the top down here, that would still not be as much as the previous like big drop, 65%. That's why like I still believe this is possible. Make sure we get a candle right there. If you guys have anything different, feel free, but this is my bias. Volume is not showing me that we're stepping in to buy yet. Might get a short-term rally, but I can see this dropping lower. Let's see what the indices are doing. Okay, so this is, yeah, if I can get a pop up for London, I'm gonna look for some like quick short scalps, depending on how long I stay awake. Um, because this candle is now starting to shift. So we'll see. We've clearly got liquidity on both ends, so I'm gonna be patient with Nasdaq, but I would like to see shorts before we buy up. What's gold looking like? Oh, we cleared out the liquidity here. Probably gonna continue going lower. Let's see, let's see. Do we have anything inside of here worth playing? I'm gonna let just gold do its thing. How's silver looking? Silver hasn't broken this low yet. But I think that's pretty much it for me, guys. Man, I wish gold would have given us a chance to get in, but there really wasn't. If we do form more liquidity, I will keep an eye on this potential 5 minute candle here, depending on how the volume comes in. Because I would like to see this get rebalanced a bit. Yeah. But that's pretty much my outlook. The yens look really good. Just to summarize, the yens look really good. Indices, ideally we get a short before we buy back up. For New York session, um, uh, we said peso was still in this larger time frame buy zone. Silver, ideally we get the drop before we continue buying up. I think this 4 hour zone makes a lot of sense on silver, so we'll see if we can get that deep of a pullback. And this was something I was studying. We've like spoken. I don't always take this type of setup, but the gap fill play didn't fully come back in. But sometimes just something to worth consider if it fits your like trading rules. I do attempt it. It's very rare. It's like my once in a while. It has worked out for me, but it doesn't always give you the feel. So whenever it doesn't, I just stay out of it. Silver starting to push back up. What's gold looking like? Yeah, even though it tapped this close, I'm okay with waiting. I'd rather see the volume coming out in 4 minutes. Um, I'll wait like 4 minutes and see if we what price action gives us for gold. A lot of volume coming into that candle. Let's see. There was this 15-minute tap. Is there anything that you guys been working on, trying to get better at, or you have goals set out? Also, if you're new to the stream, feel free, if you're enjoying the streams, remember none of this is financial advice. We have plenty more calls throughout the week. Feel free to plug in, and if you are liking the vibe of the community and the value that you're getting, feel free to send us a message, and we'll definitely get connected and get you plugged in with the community. Um, we all learn from verified educators with over decades of experience, so we're in the right community for sure. Oh, come on, give me a little deeper of a pullback. Don't do that to me. 2 minutes. I'll let London open up happen, and then we'll call it a day. What's Nasdaq doing? 30. Man, this is crappy price action. You know what's crazy? I'm not even kidding. I had my stop too tight. I got hit out inside of here. Should have had it up here. And then I just had to look at this thing dump. Let's get 100 points. That really would have been in play. Should have given it more breathing room. Um, but yeah, that was clean. One more minute. Let's see. Well, 30 seconds actually. Keep an eye on gold here. Silver's already broken below, then I'll hesitate on reselling gold. Let's see. Be some volume coming into that candle. Alright, price is pumping up. We'll see if this area holds. What's Nasdaq doing? Also giving a slight push up. If we close above this, then I don't attempt. And we need candle to reject here. If it doesn't, we stay out. Yep, not attempting. And this is exactly why I said we're like 3 minutes away from London Open volume. There was no reason to not to wait there. And you say that's like quality over just clicking a button just because there's part of an entry criteria. But the actual confirmation was not there. If it closes below back, cool, maybe. Um, Silver is pushing up pretty aggressively, so I'm not too stressed about forcing my way into gold. We've got this upper liquidity here, so I'm okay with being patient. If it gives me a pullback, potential buys, because this volume, engulfing candle, engulfing volume looks solid. So I'll see how price reacts inside of here to take out this high at least. Um, what's Nasdaq doing? Pushing up as well. Yeah, that's pretty much the buys. Maybe gold holds back. This volume is overall solid. Just be careful, like wait for the candle close in case it's a fake out. But as always, appreciate you guys hopping on. We've got pretty good biases. We've been smacking Nas the past 2 weeks with the zone, so I feel pretty confident in terms of uh, the outlook going into tomorrow and the rest of the week. Uh, Trade responsibly, risk properly. As always, if you guys need any help, feel free to reach out. I'm always down to hop on a call and help out if you need. And much love, guys. Take care, everyone.